Canadians are united because of what the United States government is doing, the tariffs.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. And I bet you that Canadians and Mexicans are also probably pretty united on the whole thing where, yeah, it's doesn't seem to matter what party or political organization you kind of support, that Canadians are in the same idea that they are not, no, that the Canadians are not in favor of the United States government.
No one is. It's very unpopular. I really don't like that guy. Well, let me tell you, it's very entertaining.
It's entertaining.
I watch a lot of videos and comments and all that, and he really, really entertains people as a president. It's like,
Yeah.
My whole YouTube feed nowadays is just full of that. People
Yes.
Like giving opinions on what he does, and I'm happy because I have both sides. I also have guys that love what Trump is doing, and sometimes it kind of, if you pay attention to it, it's like, yeah, it kind of does make sense, but the way it's been done, and who is doing it is like, it's what I don't like. Yeah. So I just decided to just not have an opinion and just enjoy the show.
The funny part about it is that, like, I had said it to my friends before, that like politics is becoming more like the WWE, like pro wrestling, than anything else. And then I have seen a lot of now political comedians like Jon Stewart and these guys, that they were comparing that whole Zelensky meeting with Trump and what's that, Vance, or I can't remember, JD Vance, yeah, the vice president. They compared it to John Cena turning heel, as in becoming a bad guy, and it was exactly perfectly done, because that pro wrestling aspect, that complete political entertainment, where there's sports entertainment for wrestling, and now there's political entertainment. Definitely. And it's completely like that, for sure.
It's becoming international, because I also I speak French, so I went immediately to see what the French people are talking about. And it's the same thing, So it's an international spectacle, and it's a show and I'm like scared, because how come at least all the Western countries are like so onto that, like, yeah, what the fuck? And that Zelensky meeting gave me the vibes of my ex-wife, like you're trying to explain something and then they misunderstood everything. Yeah. And then like, you're not saying thank you enough, you're not kind enough. And you're like, yeah, I was trying to make a point and you totally misunderstood everything.
Yeah, the talking over each other was hilarious. Very much it was very hard to see that on the opposition side of saying that it was right that, the Trump and the United States position was, in terms of the government wise, was correct to, talk over and to kind of like scold the Ukrainian president, I guess. I don't know, is it, but it was very hard to see it in a good light, rather than this like complete embarrassment. But I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know either. As I said, I just enjoy the show, because yeah, I don't know. It's always been a show in Mexico. It's always a show. So now it's the whole international community. Yeah. I would love to have someone in Europe to be a figure that all the countries are like backing. Like this character, but there's not.
Yeah, we don't have a character in Europe. That's for sure.
And yeah, because I like this prime minister here in Finland, but he's like too nice and too calm, and so no, I don't know.
Well, they're quite in that way diplomatic on the situation, but it does seem as though like Finland, it's in a funny way, they're kind of being as diplomatic with the United States as possible, not criticizing anything, but then also massively supporting the other side of the coin. So I think in Finland the biggest thing is to continue to oppose Russia and that kind of stuff. So
hello.
Hey, where?
Bienvenue, mon ami. Then let's go with the program. Let's continue. So that was the icebreaker. Business journey. So the questions are: what was the moment you realized?
Yeah, good.
Hello. How are you doing?
It was supposed to be Mika, but he forgot all about it. So now it's me.
Stars.
Hey, what's up? I smoked some stuff.
So I guess the question that is interesting to me now, uh, what's been the biggest challenge in running this business? You know, like now that you are an entrepreneur, is it easy? You hate it? If it was a movie, what kind of movie would it be? Like horror movie or thriller?
Yeah. It's a really strange situation being an entrepreneur because like especially when you're running a hospitality business or like an entertainment.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah, cool. When you're like running kind of, we are like in between hospitality and entertainment, right? So one of those things where you are serving customers and providing some entertainment for them at the same time. It's interesting, but at the same time, it's really rewarding. But then it's ridiculous amount of hard work. So especially at the beginning when I was working for somebody else's dream, as you would say, you know, it was hard to work a 40 to 80 hour week, you know, for somebody else. So and a lot of
How many hours do you work now? 80.
Yeah, per month it's averaging like 260 hours. So how does that figure into weekly? But that's you know, there's physical hours inside, which is about 240, 250, and then the rest is like with the emails, customer service, organization of events and things like that, and to make sure that everything is like, you know, up to date, you know. And one of the interesting things is that you might say, like, I'm tired of like I'm tired of working for somebody else for 40 hours a week, so I'd rather work for myself all the fucking time.
Yeah, because having a business is quite a lot. The people I know that have businesses, it depends on their own personalities, but some are so obsessive that they are like, they go to bed and they are thinking about it, and they wake up and they immediately start like replying emails and all that. I don't know what kind of business owner I would be if I had like an establishment, because it's a lot of fucking responsibility. You have to pay the fucking bills, and one way or another you have to make the money. That's on what I do, it's the same thing, of course, but it's a bit easier because I depend on you. I'm like the you know, and so, but this thing, how easy it is to deal with drunk people when they are playing video games. Is it do they damage the equipment, or they manage to have fun without damaging anything? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question because like that was one big question when we started. And now we're like 1 year almost exactly into the whole thing. And I would say that the gaming community, even though we're more centered around casual gaming, so just anybody can pick up a controller and play. But you still have, well, just last week we had somebody break one of the instruments on the racing simulator, which is like a 500 euro thing we have to replace.
But what was it like?
The handbrake. So it's like for the
So he was really enjoying it, and then
I guess so, but the problem is that it broke, and then, you know, their time was over, so they, you know, left. And then that's when we discovered, you know, it wasn't like come up to us and say, hey, I'm sorry, I broke this, you know, it was by mistake. But that's fortunately I think the only real thing that has happened. Generally, people are quite respectful, and I think Finnish people, for example, they are respectful. They don't want to be in trouble. They don't want to cause a problem. Even when I think when people get a little bit drunk, here it's not a drinking bar, so it's not a place where you go to get wasted. You go to have a good time. And yeah, there's been some, you know, full-on vomits all over the place and stuff like that. Vappu, you know, it's a thing that you have to expect. But in general, it's been actually pretty easy, I would say. Yeah, but let's fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever you're gonna do. But you know.
And then being on social media, you are very active there. Do you like that side of the business? And how, yeah, first, do you like it? And do you think that your wrestling style affects it? Or maybe at the beginning, I don't know.
Yeah, I think definitely because I went to school for acting in Toronto, and it was like an art school. So we had to learn acting, music, visual art, this kind of thing, dancing as well. So performance-based art, a lot of it. And I felt that that helped me in the wrestling world as well when I was doing that more on a, I guess, like low-key level. But then when I start to do social media, there is like a lot of these structure based things. So like, with people lose their attention within 15 seconds or something. So, these stories everything needs to be wrapped up within 15 seconds, which is actually way harder to do than I think I originally expected. Even to like jam everything into under a minute is quite hard. And then to get the information in certain parts. And when you think about it's weird, but I think about it as a pro wrestling promo. You want to get who you are, what you're about to do, and when you're going to do it, and how the person can see it. You want to get that information as soon as possible and as entertaining as possible into those people's ears and eyes, so that they retain and maybe want to learn more or want to like see like what is this actually all about. So find where they can find more information. So that kind of thing is how you need to do it in a pro wrestling promo. The good ones, if even though they're all super cheesy and everything like that, generally you have to like pull people in so that you can retain them to tell them the info they need to know. But that's getting harder and harder as time goes on and whatnot. And that crash culture in TikTok, where it needs to be something either offensive or painful, or something that just grabs your attention. It's hard to get, but on social media, it's fun to learn for me. And I think that my experience in wrestling and acting and even music helps quite a bit.
Definitely. And then you also have the sauces here. So there is a long story with that project, right? Like pretty much since you arrived in Finland. How would you summarize all that sauce?
Yeah, well, you were a big part of it, actually. Yeah, you were there. You helped. Like I think without you, wouldn't have existed. Yeah, seriously.
I remember the first times I tried it. It was not the best, and I wasn't a connoisseur of sauces, but it was nice. And then with time, you perfected it, and then now they are one of my favorites, even if I haven't tried them like in a long time. So you better give me some of the
for sure.
Cooking now. So you have the smoky maple, what are the ingredients there?
Not to give any secrets away, but it's basically smoked peppers with maple syrup, Canadian whiskey, so that's a rye whiskey. And of course, vinegars, different mixes of vinegars, salt, and that kind of jazz, garlic and onion. But it's one of those things that has been like building over time. Was something that I really wanted to do because I thought I had a hard time finding good hot sauce in Finland. So, and I mean, it was mostly a trial and error thing, looking up recipes, how to do it at home, just for myself, and then trying new things. You're trying to introduce, like you have a sour element there, you have a spicy element, you have a savory element, and then maybe you have a sweet element or whatever, and trying to mix those kind of flavors, that palette together to give something that will enhance your food experience rather than to give you a sore asshole the next day. So,
and are you planning to sell it here? Like have those cold bottles?
At some point in time, yeah, that's a goal for sure. I think now I have all the info, and people seem to really enjoy that. The funny part about was right at the beginning, a lot of people said about how are you going to handle people eating chicken wings with their hands and then using the controllers with the games, and it weirdly hasn't been a problem at all. People,
they know how to do it.
They know how to. a lot of the times they'll play, then they'll have a break and eat, and then they'll go back and play, or they'll clean their hands, of course, and we disinfect the controllers. So it's has not been any kind of issue.
What's the best seller in terms of chicken wings? What's the best?
Probably this. I would say it's getting to be the boneless style is starting to become very popular, and then the sauce would be this scorpion smoky fatality. So it's like the more Asian smoky style with teriyaki, garlic aioli, and sesame seeds and edamame on the side. So that seems to be pretty popular.
And about drinks, which one is the beer?
Yeah, well, I mean, Karhu, the classic Finnish beer, you can't beat that. That's the thing that is the biggest seller, I would imagine. There's a Brooklyn hazy IPA as well that sells quite a lot. And then, of course, the long drink, the pineapple hardwall original long drink.
Special drinks, right? Like cocktails.
Yeah, we do our like the classic cocktails, whiskey sour, espresso martini. We've been told they're the best in the city, but it's they're all that kind of stuff is really fun to make as well, because it's like making a recipe, rather than just pouring a beer. But espresso martini and whiskey sour are two very popular ones, as well as Kaipiroska. And we've done our own ones. One is called the Doomslayer's Break. That's kind of like a very dry martini style with some sparkling wine like Prosecco on it as well. And these little drops of blood in there. So, not real blood.
And about the location, when you were about to open, I thought that there wasn't enough people around, because it looks like it's kind of a long, like not only, but real. But so far it's been good, right? I mean, the place looks amazing.
Thank you.
And being here in this part of the city, how do you see it?
It's this part of the city is developing quite a lot. Or just across the street is a relatively new residential neighborhood, and they are supporting us really well. Even like we don't have an age limit, so kids come in here, play games with their grandparents on Sundays, kind of thing, and we have a really good support from that area right in front of us. And then this Konepaja district, I think it's building up. The businesses are coming in here. There's Corona billiard bar next to us. There's the Eco Club golf simulator next to us as well. Kino Konepaja, the cinema right behind our wall. So there's a lot of stuff going on around here. And the idea from the beginning was to create like a hub of interesting bars and kind of social gathering places that doesn't exist anywhere else in the city. And I think already it's there. So,
I remember you at the very beginning, you had someone trying to break in. Has that happened again? And
no.
What's the story?
It was like, I think 6 to 8 months, maybe 6 months in, there was a person who tried to break in with a sledgehammer.
Through the wall.
Yeah, through the wall and through the front door, and they couldn't get in. Funny enough, it was our front doors are glass. Mm-hmm. And I watched the security footage, and they're just hammering at this door for 10 minutes and couldn't break the glass. So we were actually, it gave us a lot of confidence to be, because we got a lot of course, PlayStation 5 things in here. You would imagine people may want to take them, but then again, they're quite fastened to the wall. So our security system, we already were pretty confident that that's not going to happen. But then the idea that the guy couldn't even break the glass window was, gave us a lot more confidence
that trying to get through the door, I mean through the wall, really made me laugh, what is that even possible? Did he was intelligent enough to know how or figure out how to do it?
I don't know, but I would the profile of the dude, I think he was just coming in to grab as much alcohol as he could.
Okay. So it was the alcohol, not the new.
No, I don't think he had a clue in that perspective. And in all honesty, if he would have got in here, the security company is like literally around our corner. So once the motion detectors go off, the guy is here within 5 minutes. And
Not very brilliant. Yeah.
yeah, I doubt he would get out with even anything if he could. But either way, it was a boost of confidence for us that showed that, you know, we're really well protected from that kind of thing. And luckily, it's only happened once, but in 1 year. So
Yeah. And then the centerpiece in your stations is that car simulator.
yeah.
It's supposed to be driven with the VR
You
thing,
can
right?
drive it with
Yeah.
the PlayStation.
Have you tried it? Because I remember playing games with the VR system and all that, and I remember this experience that I even could touch the seat, and I was like, wow, this really gives the fools the brain to believe that you are actually in the car. You know, have you tried it?
Yes, and I get total motion sickness.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't gotten that. You just need to do it more. And is it popular?
Yeah, it's very popular. Actually, it's definitely the centerpiece, and we built it with our friends as well. So it's from a real car, and not in that way like pieces of a simulator you can buy, other than the actual like electronic equipment. But it's pretty amazing. If I could I probably just need more practice with the VR, but there are a few customers and friends of ours that come in and play with the VR, and they swear by it. And it's like too realistic. So when you're driving a car going 300 kilometers an hour, which I never have, but it does definitely start to feel that way for sure. But it is very popular, and it can be very addictive too.
Did it ever cross your minds to have half the front of a car?
Yeah. The first edition of the design was basically like a fiberglass, like almost like a mini car built, but it took up so much space.
Yeah.
And we noticed that people like to stand around very close watching. So slowly that design basically went down to what it is now. And we have plans to design more or a similar addition to that. So, but I do think it's going to be something that people will really, well, they do come in and already that's their main focus. They want to play.
Cool. Now, going to your experience as an immigrant in Helsinki, in Finland, after 10 years, how could you describe it?
I mean, it's in Helsinki. It's not so bad because but it's like people generally speak English, and that's like a positive and negative thing. Where when you try to learn the language, it becomes very difficult. But otherwise, I think that it's a really good experience in Helsinki. I consider like Finland my home, and people. Once I got over the cultural weirdness that coming from Canada, then it has really felt like home. And if only I would get the language a bit better, but that'll come over time and things. But I think the Finnish people, they are interesting and strange in their own way, but I'm down for it.
Yeah, cool. And life as an entrepreneur, are you still in love with it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be very difficult to go back to working for somebody else, even though this, like I had explained, this job is extremely demanding and like takes a lot of pretty much all time. It's basically a 7-day-a-week job, and over 250, nearly 280 hours a month kind of thing that you have to dedicate to it. And it's taxing and tough for all three of us here. And but yeah, I don't think we would give it up.
If you were to make a giveaway, have you made giveaways? Yeah. What would it be if we agreed to make a giveaway, but for the people that's watching this, either the full podcast or the episode?
Like we usually give away like gaming time, so that kind
half an hour,
hour, yeah, hour or 2 hours.
Right,
depends what the French guy over here says.
Nice. So I'm gonna come up with something to do, and then 1 hour. All right. This can or cannot be.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's okay.
two questions. How long do you need?
We're almost done.
Can
Yeah.
we make noise?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Maybe in the background over there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's blurry, I hope, and I can fix the sound. Don't worry about it.
Because we are going to be right there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah.
Is it even? Yeah. So the last question would be. Parents split relatable. Okay, lies. I guess the games wasn't the game people play the most when they come here with friends.
Just wait for that.
Be Mario Kart
Pretty much.
or any of the fighting games like Mortal Kombat and all that. You know.
Yeah, like. I'll wait for the. Yeah.
Right. Good.
All right.
How do you turn this on? Not like that. Yeah, should be. Wow. Oh fuck. Oh, it has like.
Middle.
Okay.
Yeah. One is like a timer, and yeah, there's like a position.
Nice. That's good. Anyways, I'm just gonna use some clips of this. Maybe I'm gonna put this the whole conversation online for anyone that's curious, and then just use the nice bits like
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, for example, the most popular games are
Yeah, I think hockey. Did they play hockey? Yeah.
not as. I mean, there's a decent amount of hockey, but it's not like not crazy.
Because I think the
Just a sec, Norbert. If you could just hold on just a sec. Yeah. But yeah, the like most popular games that people are playing here are the most easily accessible ones, like Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing. It's basically the same game on different platforms. You know, those kind of games. Tekken, for example, is a big fighting game. Worms is an old school PC game that's adapted to PlayStation, and it's super popular. And basically, our focus is on group gaming. You know, so sports games like FC 25, the FIFA football game, and NHL, of course. But it's those multiplayer games where everybody can kind of play together and have fun together. That's kind of that was our focus from the beginning, and that has been what people are gravitating towards for sure.
That's great. Well, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's shrink.
Ah,
Shrink.
let's shrink. Yeah.